2 weeks after a fatal crash, a phone pulled from the wreck finally boots and plays a voicemail. The next one is Friday, 5:17, Union Station. I'm sorry. And the date stamp says it was left after the crash. The box of effects they give you after a plane crash is heavier than it looks. It's taped shut like a secret. There's a sweater with a rip in the sleeve, the metal watch he never took off, a phone, mud-scratched and sealed in a clear evidence bag. Maya Ortiz is 32, works nights at a community radio station, and she hasn't slept through a night since her older brother Daniel died when a regional commuter jet went down over scrub and winter grass outside Riverton. Names changed here at the request of the families. The investigative record exists, but as of this script, the docket is still technically open. The NTSB liaison had warned her, phones sometimes turn on, sometimes don't. She takes the bag home, stares at it on her table, like if she opens it, this will be the end of the not knowing. The phone, an older Samsung, surprises her. It wakes. Somewhere in that shredded memory, an icon appears. Voicemail, one new. Not her brother's phone. The name on the lock screen is L. Park. She freezes. The cheerful default voicemail lady plays. Then a woman's voice, breathy like she ran stairs to make the call. Friday, 5:17, Union Station. Look up. The next one is Friday. I'm sorry. Maya rewinds 3 times, recording the audio onto her laptop like it might evaporate. At the top, a date and time. It says the message was left the morning after the crash. Her first thought is grief logic. Maybe it's a glitch. Her second is adrenaline. If it's not, is this a warning? She calls the NTSB liaison. Don't send it anywhere, the woman says, voice careful, bureaucratic. We'll pick up the device. It could be evidence. That one word, evidence, hits like ice water. Evidence of what? That night, Maya Googles Union Station and Riverton until the blue light burns behind her eyelids. There's only one Union Station here, a vaulted Beaux-Arts terminal with a clock that never keeps time. Trains and buses cross there every hour of the day. She checks the calendar. Friday is 4 days away. Here's what we know. Real world, dry as a manual, but it matters in this story. Under 49 CFR Part 831, the NTSB is the lead federal agency for civil aviation accidents in the U.S. When crime is suspected, the FBI steps in alongside them. One of the NTSB's standard working groups is the Personal Electronic Devices Group. They image phones with tools like Celebrite UFED, pull logs, and extract metadata. They don't speculate. They collect. Voicemail for most carriers isn't stored on the phone. It lives on a server. Timestamps are created server-side, usually in UTC, then your phone displays them in local time. And during disasters, delays happen. In October 2012, during Hurricane Sandy, carriers publicly acknowledged delayed and out-of-sequence voicemail deliveries due to network congestion. In 2017, T-Mobile and others reported a ghost voicemail glitch after an iOS update that dumped old messages into inboxes all at once. All that to say, clocks can get weird. But the next morning, 2 people in windbreakers come for the phone. We'll be in touch, one says. They leave a receipt that looks like something you'd get at a tire shop. Maya wants to follow them to wherever answers live. Instead, she files a FOIA request. Under 5 U.S.C., paragraph 505(2), agencies have timelines for this stuff, but the email auto-reply says 20 business days. Friday doesn't care about business days. She calls the number that left the voicemail. It's blocked. She runs the audio through a free online spectrogram because that's what YouTube taught all of us to do. There's a tone underneath the voice, like an air handler or a big room with white noise. She hears footsteps right after, I'm sorry, or does she want to hear them? Then a name slips out from a comment thread in a local news story. Leon Park, someone writes, was on that plane. He worked security for the transit district. She finds a LinkedIn, Director of Risk and Resilience, Riverton Metropolitan Transit, for 6 years. Before that, a contractor with a firm that runs disaster drills. Her brain finds a story. The voicemail is a leak. The next one is a train. Union Station. 5:17. She hears Daniel's laugh in her head and wonders if she's losing it. She meets with a retired telecom engineer, a friend of her boss at the station. He listens, fingers steepled. Could be an artifact, he says. Could be human. Server stamps the message when it arrives. But if you have a local cache, some apps write new files when you tap play. He shrugs. It's not blessedly precise. She calls the transit authority. They don't comment on security matters. The only person who will talk is a custodian who's been at Union Station since the 90s. We do those drills, you know, he says. Full-scale exercises. They bring stretchers. Victims with moulage. He pronounces it moulage, laughing. Last time it was a Friday. Put a pin in that, because here's a real-world thing. FEMA's Homeland Security Exercise and Evaluation Program, HSEEP, sets how agencies design and run drills. The 2020 HSEEP doctrine says exercises provide a consistent, common approach to exercise program management. In HSEEP, planners use injects, scripted prompts delivered by phone or email to simulate events in real time. It is not inconceivable that an inject could sound like a warning. Tension spike number 1 hits Wednesday. Someone leaks the audio. The voicemail is suddenly a grainy clip being debated under hashtags. Half the comments are compassion. The other half accuse Maya of sparking panic. If you see something, say something, she writes, and immediately deletes it. She hasn't seen anything. She's only heard a voice she can't unhear. Thursday, she gets a call she doesn't expect, from an NTSB investigator who can't go on the record. I'm not confirming anything, he says, but the timestamp on the audio header matches what you saw. It appears recent. Then he sighs. We've looped in the bureau. Tension spike number 2. The transit police increase patrols. Cameras swivel at Union Station. Reporters stand at the edges of the concourse like cats watching a mouse hole. Maya goes there herself. She touches the worn brass on the banister just to feel something solid. She meets a woman near the information desk with a lanyard that says planner. The woman's smile is human in a way that throws Maya off balance. You're Maya, she says. I'm not supposed to talk to you, but I lost a brother too. Maya hears herself ask, is it Friday, 5:17? The planner looks at the clock. Yikwash, she says, but not the way the internet thinks. Friday arrives like a dare. Maya stations herself under the big clock with 2 coffees and no appetite. The ambient station noise blends into a hum. Shoe soles on stone, the hiss of air brakes, announcements that sound like they're spoken underwater. At 5:12 p.m., transit police form a loose line by the doors. A few plainclothes types tap their earpieces. The digital board flips a column of times to on time. 5:16, a hand on her shoulder. It's the planner from yesterday. If you're going to hate me, can we at least step aside? She says softly. They move behind a pillar. That voicemail, the planner says, was me. Sort of. Maya feels heat rise behind her eyes. We planned a full-scale exercise for today, the planner continues. HSEEP compliant. Leon was our outside evaluator. Last week we recorded a few injects, short voicemails, so that during the drill, controllers could call participants with new intel. One of my lines was, the next one is Friday at 5:17 at Union Station. Look up. It's a prompt to get police to check the upper walkway. She grimaces. I added I'm sorry because I hate reading into people's fear. It felt human. How did it end up on his phone after he... Maya stops. She can't say the word. We don't know, the planner says. We tested the recordings Monday. Leon wanted to keep a copy. The file must have tried to push again later. Server hiccup. Or it cached and played when the device finally booted after the crash. I'm not the tech person. I just know we flipped today's drill to a security posture enhancement with real police rather than volunteers. We aren't playing pretend. 5:17 p.m. A city bus doors hiss open. A cluster of volunteers in neon vests filter in on the far side of the concourse, then stop. There's a brief awkward wave, and they turn away. The drill isn't happening. Not like that. The planner looks at Maya. Leon was good at this, she says. He hated scaring people. He loved building systems that work when they have to. Maya nods. The wave of breath she's been holding all week leaves her body like a tide. A uniformed officer approaches. Ma'am? He recognizes the planner. We're shutting down the exercise scenario. We're going to use the time for a real walkthrough. Quietly. His eyes flick to Maya in a way. He's not supposed to see her. Maya listens to the station for a few more minutes. Nothing explodes. No scream tears the air. The clock hand clicks over to 5:18, and it turns out that time can be both ordinary and holy. Later that night, the NTSB calls. They can't and won't comment on the content, but they are comfortable saying this. The audio was extracted from a relocated temporary file on the device, not pulled live from a carrier server. Translation. This felt like the future reaching in. It was really the past, delayed. Immediate aftermath. The Transit Authority posts a careful statement, no apology, lots of responsibility words. We are reviewing notification protocols for exercises. The comment section is kinder than the internet usually is. Maya goes home, opens her brother's watch, and sets the time. It's the only thing she can fix. In the months that follow, the formal report on the crash arrives in a PDF that none of them want to read and all of them do. It is what these documents always are, a sober braid of mechanical facts and human choices. It lands without a twist. There are recommendations that will make other flights safer, marginally, invisibly. The voicemail becomes a footnote in a longer story. Inside the agencies, they add a line to their playbooks. Exercise injects should be clearly labeled, and distribution systems checked. Families are added to a list, people to call before rumors metastasize. The planner who didn't sleep for a week pushes for that and gets it. The real question this leaves behind is not about ghosts and machines. It's about signals and noise, and the cost of guessing wrong. We live in a time where a stray audio clip can ripple across a city in an afternoon. We all want to be the person who says something when we see something. But what do we owe each other when the something is a whisper from a shattered phone? Part artifact, part warning, part human guilt. Here's a place to sit with it. There was a woman who recorded a line for a pretend disaster and said, "I'm sorry," because even pretend fear has weight. There was a man who kept a copy because he took his work seriously and didn't get the chance to use it. There was a sister who heard a message and refused to gamble that it was nothing. None of them were wrong. The moral is not that we should ignore the next weird thing that crosses our screens. It's that when we amplify danger, we must try to be as careful as the people whose lives we could transform with a rumor. And we must make systems that assume the worst while treating the public with the best kind of respect. The truth, as quickly and as gently as possible.
Don't forget to subscribe to Real Mystery Reports for more strange, dark, and profoundly human stories. New true mysteries every day.